hello. Oh, this is nice, isn't it? This is nice. Oh, hello. No, I know you, and you did meet during comedy, and she is a vet. She offered to neuter my rabbit, which is a conversation for another day, but that's weird. But this is lovely, because I did a gig. I did a gig a couple of days ago, and it was a little bit depressing. I won't lie, it was a little bit depressing because of the rise of Omicron. The guy that was running the gig was like, I want everyone wearing masks. Even when they're sat down, I want them wearing masks. I want them wearing masks the entire time. But only 6 geezers showed up to the gig. So I got up on stage in a room 4 times the size of this, and I just looked round at 6 geezers all spread out, all sat there, all wearing masks, holding a pint of beer each, and I just thought, fuck me, this looks like a pedo's funeral. Very depressing. Oh my God, was it depressing. But this is lovely. It's lovely to feel, I know, pedo joke at the top. But it's all right. I think it's all right. It's okay if I'm mocking the pedo, isn't it? Stop saying pedo. No, but I took a bit of time out over Christmas and the beginning of the new year. I took like 3 to 4 weeks off, just to spend some quality time with my husband and our 2 children. And quality time has taught me something. It's taught me something so important. Because I've come to realise that me and my husband and our 2 children, we're all just better off as friends. I don't really want to be involved anymore. Have we got any parents in? Give me a cheer. Oh, isn't that the saddest sound? Isn't it? Right, that was a very depressing cheer. If you don't have children, give me a cheer. Science, isn't it? Science. It's just science. Honestly, having kids, oh my God, you're like, oh my God, I love you so much, but this is so shit. But I love you so much. I think the problem is that once you're married and you have kids and so, look at you gorgeous girls. I bet you don't have children, do you? No, look at them. They're wearing makeup. They're clean. It's amazing. They're beautiful. No, the thing is when you've married and settled down and stuff, you lose that little glow. You lose that glow. Like all my mates, right, who are in a relationship 6 months, maybe a year, they're all boasting about their relationships, and we'll all know a prick like this, right? They're all over social media, aren't they, boasting about their relationships. They're all over it, and they're all posting things like, oh my God, I just love the fact that me and my boyfriend both work from home now. Yeah. Oh my God, I just love the fact that every lunchtime we can just go for a lovely walk around the park together. Oh my God, we've both discovered veganism. Hashtag organic. Here's a picture of us for Instagram having sex on a bed of sourdough, which he made, got him well trained. Hashtag the one, hashtag my soulmate, hashtag my best friend, hashtag he completes me, hashtag I do tell everyone I'm a feminist, but I still use a man to validate my existence on social media. Hashtag. I've been married 17 years, and every single time my husband walks through the front door, I'm like, do you have to? Depressing. One of my friends, she went and posted on Instagram, you know, where you can put 3 pictures and tag them all together. So she went and posted on Instagram. She was like, look what I came home to last Friday. Look what my boyfriend surprised me with. Picture 1, bath filled, covered in rose petals, right? Candles all round the edge. Picture 2, 3-course meal, all laid out. Picture 3, 2 tickets to see Hamilton in the West End. I just wrote underneath going, yeah, you know what I came home to last Friday? Last Friday I came home and found my husband wanky in the shed. He knows what I'm talking about. That's a shed wanker if ever I saw one. Yes. Honestly, this one's just blinking SOS at me like, yes, I feel your pain. Honestly, I was livid. He's down the bottom of the garden in a shed watching pornography, touching himself inappropriately. I didn't even know we could get Wi-Fi down there. Mental. No, it's difficult though. It's difficult. And do you know what I struggle with? I struggle with having kids. It's hard to discipline them now. Oh, it's hard. It's very hard to discipline kids now. Yes. I was talking to my mum about this. And my mum was like, I don't know what to say to you, Esther. Because when you were a kid, you got smacked. And I'm like, yes. growing up in the 80s and the 90s, we got smacked, didn't we? Yes. Yes, proper, oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, beautiful times, yes. Gorgeous. But do you remember the shit your mum used to shout at you? Do you remember? You'd be winding your mum up and your mum would be like, you wait till your dad gets home. I always felt sorry for my dad. He'd been at work all day. The moment he got home, he had to start beating kids that hadn't even pissed him off. Poor fucker, yes. There's a few dads that can remember that. Yeah, you come home jingling keys. You've had a good day at the office. The moment you get to the front doorstep, you're just met by your missus ringing a tea towel going, you get inside this house and you beat the shit out of that one. And when you finish with that one, you put that one in a fucking coma. And he'd do it. No questions asked. He'd be like, yeah, fair enough, let's go. It's like, yeah, hang on, you don't even know what I've done yet. This is the thing though, right? This is the thing. My parents were fine with that. Absolutely fine with it. And I think it's because of their background. Because my mum, she's a Geordie. She comes from Gateshead in the northeast. And my dad, he's an Arab man, right? He's from Lebanon in the Middle East. And a lot of people have asked me over the years, they're like, Esther, what on earth did a woman from a council estate in Gateshead have in common with an Arab man from war-torn Lebanon in the Middle East? Violence. Very violent. Very violent. I'll tell you something else about my parents, right? Neither one adjusted their accent in any way, shape or form to make it easier for the other one to understand. Which meant that I was raised by two people who had no fucking idea what the other one was saying. I remember my mum would be in the living room going, will you pass the remote to us? And my dad's just standing there going, who is us? And my mum would be like, me? I'm us. And my dad's like, oh yes, you don't even allow me my own identity anymore. Absolutely disastrous, which means my dad's now moved in with me. That's made it nice, but yes. So he lives with me, my father, yes. So this accent is because I'm born and bred Essex. I still live in Essex. I did get told after a gig, though, that my accent makes me sound like a chav. I was like, fine, fuck you. I'm a chav and I'm an Arab. I'm a charab. What was even weirder is when I was gigging out in the UAE, right? I did a 5-day tour in the UAE, and an Arab woman comes up to me, a Lebanese woman. She walks up to me after the gig, and she was like, my goodness, you look so Lebanese, but you sound like Gemma Collins. So I'll fucking have that, the big GC, yes, I'll have that. Thank you very much, what a legend. But this is the crazy thing. It's mental having my dad live with me. I've got to say it's quite full on, because I don't know if any of you too have a Middle Eastern father, but I think this is true of a lot of different ethnicities. My dad is of the persuasion to sit in his pants watching TV and just screaming at the TV. That's how he spends his days, right? He's just sat there in his pants watching the TV, right? And he's always just screaming at it. This one-way conversation. He's always just there going, look at this bastard Boris Johnson. Look at this bastard Matt Hancock. And for reasons which none of us can understand, look at this bastard Mary Berry. I don't know why that is. But thank you for laughing, because I did do that joke in Oxford, and the poshest woman I've ever seen in my life just stood up and went, no! It's okay. My husband's British, though. He's very British, my husband. Very, very British. He's one of those, like, geezer types, like, tall, very, very pale, skin of a newborn newt, very, very translucent, very kind of, like, bald-headed, very shiny bald head. He can't wear a roll neck jumper because it makes him look like a sticker roll-on deodorant. You know what I mean? that type of fella. And I took him back to Lebanon to meet my family. And we went back to meet my family. And, oh, by the way, the area that I live in, the BNP actually started to canvass, and my husband was stood outside the house, right? Bearing in mind, me and my father and my children are inside, and the BNP come up to my husband because they clocked him, tall, skinny. They're like, oh, he'll be up for it, right? So they walk over and they hand this leaflet, and they went, are you sick of Muslims coming over here and ruining our country? My husband was like, I've got a house load of them ruining my TV time. So, But I took him back to Lebanon to meet my family. We went round to my aunt's house in Lebanon, and my aunt turned round to my husband. All right, and this is when I realised that even when you speak the same language, sometimes the communication, it just don't work. Because she turned round to my husband and she was like, "Would you like a cup of coffee?" And he responded, how all us British people respond to that question. It's in us. It's part of us. He was like, "Only if you're making one. Don't go to any trouble. Don't worry about me. I'll just sort myself out later. No, you sort everyone else out. I'll sort myself out later. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. I'll just stand over here. Don't worry about me. I don't want to cause any disruption. No, it's absolutely fine. I can sort myself out later." My aunt turned around. She's like, "What does he want?" We're in Lebanon for 1 month with all my relatives, too terrified to ask him any questions. They'd just be walking up going, "Does he want food now? I don't know. Just put the plate. Don't make eye contact. Walk away. Stupid man in my house." But it's traumatised my husband. It's traumatised him. And now he's like, okay, I'm starting to realise that when I'm dealing with your family, I've just got to be really direct, right? They can't take the floweriness of the English language, so I've just got to be direct with what I want. So literally about a week ago, my dad turns around to my husband, right, in his pants. My dad's always in his pants. Always with just like a little bit of ball bag hanging out. It's always... What's the thing? That was the thing of the dads. They always would wear pants with like a little bit of ball bag hanging out. I remember my mum losing her shit at my dad, going, "Can you imagine if I just wandered around the house in my bra?" And I was like, "Mum, that is very different. That is very different. Because anyone who finds breasts aesthetically pleasing, anyone would appreciate a woman's chest, but no one who fancies men, no one, man nor woman, no one is looking at my dad with a bit of ball bag hanging out going, ooh, ooh, I love myself a little papery thin ball sack skin. Yes. Honestly. So, right, we're in the house, and my dad turns around to my husband and he was like, "Neil, would you like a cup of tea?" And my husband just responded, "Yes! Yes! 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 Yes!" But only if you're making one. Guys, you've been a delight. I've been Esther Manito. Thank you so much.